Transformation in 3, 2, 1.
Hi everybody, welcome in, welcome in. So glad you're here on this beautiful, beautiful day. We are again out here by the railroad tracks. And luckily for us, a train just went by. It was a very short train and it had a lady conductor. I was so excited. I felt like a little kid. I waving at her, she's waving at me and I'm like, good morning. And she's smiling at me. So expect the unexpected today. What do we have coming out here? 8 of mirrors, page of spirals. Look at this. Excitedly moving away from your troubles and sorrows, things that aren't fulfilling you, things that you know in your heart that you've been kind of looking for, searching for a while. It's like this announcement today that you're going after it. I really feel that maybe it's an invitation, maybe you are seeing something, a path, a message is coming through that is showing you a path is opening up. This is the 8 of mirrors, 8 of cups, right? And in this card, it looks like the hermit. He's walking down the pathway and he's looking at these things, instead of cups in this deck, it's mirrors, because it's about that internal reflection. It's about how the things that we see and how we see them, and how we interpret those things are a direct reflection of our emotional self. And we go through phases and those reflections change, right? The things that we see change. What is it that Max Planck said? Change the things you see and the things you see will change, right? The things you look at, that's what it is. Change the things you look at and the things you look at will change. And it's because we're seeing them from a different perspective, right? I'm thinking about a labyrinth right now, and how we just keep going by the same things, but every time we pass them, every time we get to experience it again from a different place, right? A different vantage point, it looks different. Page of spirals, that's the page of wands. And again, exciting news coming through, trying something new. It's the Joker and the mime. There's a childlike essence to this, just like how excited I saw when I saw that the train conductor was a woman. I was very excited, because it was something I didn't expect to see. And she smiled at me and waved and said good morning. It was beautiful. Just a nice way to start this, because I was like, I came out and I sat here and I realized that I hadn't brought my cord, and I'm right down the street from my house. So my son, I texted him and he brought the cord down for me. And when he came down, he could see the train a ways away. And I said, okay, perfect. So I was able to sit here for a few minutes and meditate and drink the coffee. I'm going to do a little bit of a coffee cup reading for you guys. And it gave me the opportunity to drink it. So a shot of coffee. Oh, it's so good. So we will get to that point. And I feel like that's where you're getting to a point. You're like, will you get to the point? Merlin. I love this, and then again, this idea of like, this guy is climbing up a mountain. This guy is climbing down the other side and he's aged a bit, huh? And then now we have Merlin, the hero. This is the Fool card. And look, he's matured quite a bit. And it's like that new beginning. It doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter how many experiences you've been through. You are still able to absorb the new beginning. You're still able to look at something with a childlike essence and really absorb the newness to it. The page with the Fool here is very exciting. Right, a lot of Aries type energy here. The new, right? The beginning, the starting off point. And that's what we're looking at here. It's almost like you've created this new self out of the old reflections. I'm hearing Merkit Ball, right? I'm hearing, like disco. Can I have a few more, please, Spirit? Can I have a few more, please? Ooh, we've got the Queen of Spirals. The Queen of Spirals came out in the reverse. And we have the King of Scrolls, the poet. And we have the 6 of Stones in the reverse and the 8 of Scrolls in the reverse. Here that's interesting and very poignant, because Judgment's on the bottom. The Phoenix rising from the ash. To go from the new, starting off the new and coming to that full completion. And again, that this is that reiteration of the coming around again, of the perspective change, of things coming back that we've already experienced, that lessons you've already learned, and get or experiences that you've already had, and getting to try them in a new way, right? Try something new. It's almost like you didn't want to be angry anymore, and maybe there could have been someone there, that there was like an element of jealousy, of someone using their like their shine against yours, right? And I'm feeling like shine blocker energy coming through here. Both of these fiery cards. It affects your talents, it affects your passion, it affects your drive. And again, there's this reflective quality to it, because here's this mime climbing up the mountain, and he's got a ram, right? And then here is the Queen of Spirals, and she has a deer there, Godot. And it's almost like someone pretending to be innocent or shining that innocent quality, when really underneath they've got motives, right? Sticky motives underneath, and it's their own feeling of self-worth or lack thereof that's keeping them in that space, and they are begrudging the person or the energy that moves forward, that is new. And it's about opening ourselves up to something else, that reflection of that, making a decision. Now we have the King of Scrolls energy, so the fire sign, feminine energy. Doesn't have to be a feminine fire sign. It's about that archetype, right? Same here. Masculine air energy, and he is the King of Scrolls, right? He's got all the information, he researches that information, he looks at it logically, he calculates the numbers, he understands what goes where, what happens where. But he's also the poet, right? That creative communication, the ability to abstract from those things, and really having a reflective look at something, going from maybe that internal fire drive to that logic sense, right? It's kind of cooling off the heat a little bit, and then taking the new stance. And then Six of Pentacles is the generosity card, the equal give and take, right? And the Eight of Swords is like that mental mind prison that's self-imposed, and it could be that at some point you were giving more than you're receiving, putting you in a space of mental entrapment. And by starting off on this new thing, by taking that leap of faith and no longer giving to something that was taking too much, or no longer letting it push you into that place where you need more than what you're receiving, it's letting that go, releasing yourself from that mental space. And that's why this Judgment card is here. Let's get a few more clarifiers. What's interesting too is that I'm reading them backwards today. That's just how they came out. Some texts are read from the left to the right. Some texts are read from the right to the left. And technically speaking, tarot is supposed to be read this way. Runes get read this way. The opposite of how English is written. So there is this very reflective quality here. Ancestors, what is the Page and the Queen of Spirals? Oh, look at this. The Chariot. Two of Swords in the reverse. We like that. Knight of Wands. Listen, and then what flew out was the Eight of Pentacles, and I promise you it landed exactly like that. Exactly like that over the Eight of Swords and Six of Pentacles. This is about changing our modal, changing the patterns in which you work so that you are producing something different, right? There's a mobility here, the mobility, like an unblocked, right? You're getting unblocked, whatever it was that was putting that stick in your path, right? It's like the train tracks, like the bars have been lifted and you can move through now. This could have to do with the vehicle, like if you're trying to get a vehicle or something, or maybe repairs on a vehicle, it's like whatever it was is going to be cleared the way, and you're moving forward. And what's interesting too is that it's another fire court card. And this time it's the Knight of Wands, and look at him moving. He's moving through, and he's got this companion here, this friendship. Again, it was like these characters aren't alone, right? They have their spirit guides, they have their animal spirits. I mean, it could be somebody like a friend with you, right? Support. It's open, right? And I have Cancer energy out here too. We are in the time of Cancer, and it's about having your head and your heart on the same page to achieve victory. You are becoming unstuck, and through this unstuckness, now as you're walking through and making this change, logically in your mind, making these decisions, someone making these decisions, helping you do that, bringing you that information, you're able to look at and reflect. Again, reflect was a big theme in the last reading. Reflect on those things and move forward. And now we've got the Knight of Pentacles in the reverse. Yeah. This stubborn energy that doesn't move, that doesn't want to contribute. That's what it feels like. It feels greedy. It feels like this is terrible with its finance, terrible with its budgeting of resources, right? And I think that you're starting to realize how things kept you in space, and different maybe modales operated by things and people around you that weren't necessarily contributing to the greater good, contributing to the thing, right? It's a map. And it's like that's not where you want to go. And I think that the information that's coming through to you allows you to move, and it move quickly. There's a bunny on this card. What is the new beginning? Can you tell us about Merlin, please? Can you tell us about Merlin, please? Two of Pentacles, keeping the balance of the resources. And again, isn't it like one in the hand, two in the bush, right? The things that you've already created and the things that you are that are in the works, right? And again, once you learn to ride a bicycle, once you find that balance, that center in your core, you never forget, right? And so it's about keeping your wits about you while you're taking that leap of faith. And again, we've got this Eight of Pentacles coming out over this. This has to do with where you've put your time, where you've put your effort, where your work is being seen, where it's being reproduced, and releasing yourself from things that aren't beneficial. Four of Swords, look at that, and taking a moment, taking a time out to heal, to really, again, reflect and to look at those spaces, and to allow yourself that time of healing, right? Especially in the mental realm, it's like clearing your mind. I'm hearing you can see where you're going now. You're completely unstuck. Clear out the clutter. Look at that frog energy. Things that don't need to be there, and that includes emotionally and mentally. Taking that time out, yesterday was Canada Day. Happy Canada Day to our Canadian friends. And the 4th of July is coming, which is like a really difficult holiday this year in the United States. And it talks about clearing out the clutter, that mental space. There is a time we get the weekend off. Falls on a Friday if you're here. If not, you get the weekend, right? Take some time. Maybe you work all weekend. That's what I'm hearing. You work all weekend. Clearing out the clutter. What doesn't need to be there? Are there boundaries that you need to put in place? Feeling like that. Don't know what that truck is. Beaver spirit, lay a solid foundation. Yeah. I was watching this amazing thing yesterday about Carl Jung's in between, right? That space in between, that liminal space where we're going from one idea, one concept, one level in our lives, one job, one relationship, take it how it resonates, but going from one thing to another, and in a way that we're trying to heal from something, right? This isn't like progress for progress's sake. This in that sense, this is talking about having to correct something or to make an adjustment in some way. And allowing yourself that space in between so that you can heal and digest and ingest all of these things. Otherwise, you might recreate the same thing over and over and over, because there's that push, that drive, that Knight of Wands energy that wants to get out there and do that thing, but it hasn't given itself enough time to really reset. And that's, I think, to lay a solid foundation. You have to do that in order to get that full reset. Freedom is yours. Look at this. You are no longer entrapped. I love that. That unstuck energy. Two of Swords in the reverse. Chariot energy. You know, moving forward. I absolutely love this. And look, time to let go. Let go of anything that was holding you back. Let go of any of the mental spaces that were making you feel stuck. And guilt, resentment. Versions of the old you. Things the old you might have thought, information the old you might have had. It's okay, because the you are now is the like almost like embryonic, right? And it's forming you into the next version of self. And keep in mind, you know, that's part of the maturation process. We're never too old to start. We're never too old to grow. We're never too old to learn. We're never too young to know better. It's about that experience, right? Those experiences that we have and how much that we're carrying that's keeping us from getting the new experience. Oh, am I afraid to be seen? It says the world doesn't want you to hold back any longer. Time to shine your unique light on the world. We're made from love, and from love you are whole. There is no more hiding. There is no more shame. There is only truth. Live naked and free. Yes. Today's soul action. What parts of me do I hide so I can be socially accepted and fit in? Am I being authentic? Do I allow myself to be all of me? What do I need to feel so I can be safe to be, what do I need to feel so I can be safe to be seen? Journal your answers. And yeah, journaling, so that you can look back on it, right? Journaling is the mirror, like looking in the mirror and seeing that reflection and seeing what is available. It looks like somebody's trying to climb, like Jack and the Beanstalk is the vibe that I'm getting from this. And I'm seeing like little chicken feet, like little bird claws, trying to reach out and grasp, like landing, right? Like things might have been up in the air for quite some time. Like again, I'm seeing like a koala bear hugging its baby. There's this idea of caring for, nurturing, maybe again holding on too tightly, like our work is our, you know, it could be your children, but our work is our children, our ideas, the things that we care for. I'm like having that feeling like in art school, you know, you'd work so hard on something and it was like you learn to just scrap it. You could work 48 hours straight, and I mean straight, like just drinking coffee and working on a thing, and then scrap it. One time, I don't know why this is relevant, but one time I was doing a sculpture of a woman and she was kind of like in this like bowing position, you know, and we worked on her because we had a live modeling class and she was there for like 2 weeks. So it was at 4 class periods, 16 hours. And it was getting toward the end of it. And there was something wrong with her proportions. And I literally chopped it. I mean, I cut my piece, cut it right in half, and then removed the extension, like how far she was, like she had too many vertebrae in her back, and cut her in half and then pushed it back together. Voila. And everybody was like, what are you doing, you know? And I'm like, this is the only way it's going to work, and I've got this amount of time, so I have to make this decision. That's what I did, and it wound up being absolutely fine. Worked out really well, and I actually gave it away to a friend who really liked it. It was worthy of gifting to someone. So sometimes that's what it is, you know, taking that moment. It's not, nothing is so, or work, I mean, right? Don't hold on to something if you think it because of the sentimental value or the amount of time. Like if an adjustment needs to be made, don't be resistant to that. And it's like things will clear up very quickly. There's a lot in one space over here, and then things are cleared up, and I feel like there's the clarity that comes through this once you climb out. And then, oh my goodness, you guys, the plate. We'll do this inside one day so that you can see the plate too. It's like there is this cat lounging here, observing and watching. You know, what's interesting too is like because they look like they're relaxing, but they will pounce in a split second. It's just because they're in that relaxed pose doesn't mean that they aren't ready to act, and they think that that's about where you are in this. And again, like many paths that you could be taking, and they will open up for you. It's definitely a tree, and it feels like there was, you know, like I would say, like it was like a something very powerful because it kind of looked like an atom bomb, the mushroom cloud, right? And I'm not saying that in like, please don't take that literally. I hope to God that doesn't, please, we don't want that literally. But what it meant is like this, you know, this change, something just, and I don't think you necessarily reacted to it, but I feel like you felt that inside. Like it was like your head just like, wow. And it really changed the constitution of self. It grew you instantaneously. And again, you know, that feeling of being like trapped in the tree, trapped in the space when you are not. Think of the cat. And people calling the fire department to get the cat out of the tree, but the cat is perfectly fine and it will come down when it wants to. It's complete, you know, like worry over something little. And then we have a dragon here, but it's smiling. It's like a cartoon dragon, like Pete's dragon. You know, like maybe this thing that looks formidable is actually quite kind and just wants to be a part of things, just wants to learn. Yeah. So it's like once you release your intimidation, like your feeling of being intimidated by this thing, it will actually really benefit from your company. It will learn from you. It's like you're intimidated by something that seems very formidable and ferocious, but when in reality it's just the case that it comes in. It doesn't really mean that. That could be, you know, like a job. Like I feel like it's like a boss or a task that is intimidating to you, or that you're, you know, feeling like you can't approach or get to. But once you do, once you know, make that gentle approach to it, it actually learns a lot from you. You become its mentor, teaching this. And then I'm seeing like this horse like walking. It reminds me of those Mesopotamian, you know, it's like the lions with the human face, and it's marching. I don't know if you can see that there, but it's quite big. And it, again, I'm feeling this talks about, you know, evolution of knowledge, evolution of self, of tech, of learning, of where you once were, and coming through that into the new. All right, I'm gonna put that down for now. We're gonna close up with a animal card. cosmic creatures, ancestor spirits on this gorgeous day. An animal spirit. Ooh, the oyster. Pearls of wisdom. And again, that little bit of sand in there, that little bit of irritation, right? That develops into a beautiful pearl. Pearl filter prosperity. Ooh, I feel like the filter is going to be a big deal. A creature of the sea, the oyster acts as a natural filter, cleaning up its environment by recycling pollutants and improving the quality of the water it inhabits. When the oyster appears, you may need to go through a filtering process to clear out your mental and emotional state. What thoughts are serving you, and what thoughts can you let go of? You may realize you are stuck in a pattern, preferring to keep yourself closed off, like the hard and tight shell of an oyster. However, when you start to look at the lessons behind every experience, you will begin to find the hidden treasure. The oyster produces pearls whenever an irritant sneaks inside its shell, and as a defense mechanism, the oyster coats the irritant with nacre, which eventually builds up into a pearl. What pearls can you harvest from your past? Once you count all the pearls you've acquired, you'll realize how prosperous you were all along. Thank you. I hope that was helpful. I hope that you got something out of it. Remember, pearl is within you. Right. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for remembering to hit like and subscribe. And thanks for coming back and seeing us again next time. Bye.
Transformation in 3, 2, 1.